we have our favorite thing, Avengers Endgame leaks. Obviously, with Avengers Endgame, Marvel is being as secretive as they possibly can.
Okay, so this scene takes place on what this person describes as what he believes to be a part of Xandar. And just so everybody knows, this is not leaked footage from a trailer, it's not the opening scene, it's just a scene in Avengers Endgame. So in this scene, Thanos has arrived on Xandar with the Black Order and his army. He does not have the Infinity Gauntlet on, instead he has his armor and his double-bladed sword. Although Thanos does not have any of the Infinity Stones yet, the Avengers are still losing to him, the Black Order, and his army. The Xandarians are getting defeated by the Chitauri and the Outriders, and the Avengers are getting defeated by Thanos and his Black Order. Captain America and Iron Man regroup, and Steve tells Tony that they're not going to win this battle. Tony says, "What do you propose we do because we're out of time and down to the wire?" Captain America replies, "We should cut the wire." Right as Steve says this to Tony, Thanos shows up right in front of them. Iron Man's helmet forms around his head and Captain America lifts up his shield. But then we see Captain Marvel fly in and punch Thanos in the face with an energy blast which sends him flying. Captain Marvel then gives Tony a metal case that contains the Power Stone in it. Tony immediately gives it to War Machine, and Rhodey puts the case into a huge device. The end of the scene is a huge white blast that eventually takes up all of the screen and ends the scene. And that's it for this leaked description of this scene. So there are a few things from this leaked description that I really like and that add up really well. The first is that the Avengers will go back in time or to an alternate reality to Xandar. This makes sense because Xandar is where Thanos gets the first Infinity Stone, the Power Stone. And it makes sense that the Avengers would try to stop Thanos before he got any of the Infinity Stones. And the Power Stone is the one stone that we never saw Thanos get in Avengers Infinity War. We never saw the Xandar scene at all, we just heard Thor tell the Guardians of the Galaxy that Thanos decimated Xandar to get the Power Stone. In this scene, it still sounds like Thanos pretty much decimates Xandar, but the Avengers and Captain Marvel help defeat Thanos and save Xandar. So maybe they were just saving this scene for Avengers Endgame. The next thing I really like is when Captain America is talking to Iron Man and they talk about cutting the wire. This is a reference to the first Avengers film.
You're not the guy to make the sacrifice play. To lay down on a wire and let the other guy crawl over you.
I think I would just cut the wire.
Always a way out.
The first Avengers film is obviously where Tony and Steve's friendship developed and started, and Avengers Endgame is supposed to wrap up the story arc from the first 10 years. So since this is supposed to be the end, it's cool to reference back to the beginning. And then at the end where Captain Marvel comes in, punches Thanos in the face, and then gives Tony Stark the Power Stone. It makes perfect sense that Captain Marvel would be the one to retrieve the Power Stone. She's probably the only one strong enough to wield it. If it almost killed Star-Lord when he was still half celestial, it'll kill any of the Avengers. So she goes and gets the Power Stone, puts it in some sort of case, probably like the orb that Star-Lord kept it in. She gives it to Tony, Tony gives it to Rhodey, and Rhodey puts it in a machine. I'm gonna guess that this is the proton cannon that we've all been speculating about for such a long time now. It powers the proton cannon and Rhodey lets it loose. And that's the end of the scene. To me, this sounds really awesome and sounds like something that could definitely play out in Avengers Endgame. But again, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. There are a ton of leaks that come out, and some are true and some are not true. Either way, they're really fun to talk about, and some do end up being true. And again, in Avengers Infinity War, there were a few leaks that came out that ended up being true, so you never know. But let me know what you all think about this. Would you be excited to see this scene play out in Avengers Endgame? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And again, another reminder, be sure to subscribe, comment, and like the video.